Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the new home of Aero-Med. My name is Emily Berlin, and I am the Vice President of Aero-Med, as well as have responsibility for the marketing and strategy within our laboratory business. I am thrilled to have our entire Aero-Med family here with us today, as well as several special guests, including Steve Mason, Cardinal Health's Medical Segment CEO, Melissa Laber, Senior Vice President of Lab and Non-Acute, and several representatives from the local East Hartford community. Today, we are celebrating not only the grand opening of our beautiful new facility, but also the 15th anniversary of our lab kitting services business. In 2014, Cardinal Health acquired Aero-Med to bolster our presence in the growing independent reference lab market. In addition, the unique and differentiated capabilities of the lab kitting business were identified as an entry point into the growing direct-to-consumer market. And since the time of acquisition, the trajectory of the business has accelerated, and Aero-Med has emerged as a leading distributor and provider of specimen collection kits. I am passionate about the work done here at Aero-Med as it directly touches patient lives. Diagnostic testing plays an integral role in patient care, and the starting point for any test is collecting a patient sample. The specimen collection kits manufactured here at Aero-Med are the initiation point for that testing. On an annual basis, we now manufacture more than 50 million tests, which means that we are touching the lives of 50 million patients annually. And it has been proven that the utilization of a standardized collection kit ensures specimen integrity as well as diagnostic accuracy. So that means that the 50 million lives that we touch each year, that the patient, their providers, and their loved ones can have confidence in the test results that they receive. And the team here at Aero-Med should be proud that each day we play a role in a patient's life. Now, in diagnostic testing, the words patient and consumer are becoming synonymous with one another. The direct-to-consumer market is rapidly growing and is an exciting market for us. The pandemic created a greater acceptance of testing being performed outside of a healthcare environment. And patients are now increasingly accessing testing through new models. And at Aero-Med, we have continued to innovate to ensure that we are able to meet their needs. The capabilities built here at Aero-Med have positioned the business to not only be aligned, but stay ahead of the evolving needs of the direct-to-consumer market. And an example of this can be found in the health and wellness sector. The focus on wellness and prevention has increased multifold, as it has been shown that testing at regular intervals allows patients, as well as their care teams, to identify early signs of disease. And this early identification also reduces the cost of care and provides better patient outcomes. Our customized specimen collection kits can be manufactured and shipped directly to a patient's home, allowing the patient to take a more proactive role in their healthcare. And all of that begins here in East Hartford. Our Aero-Med business sits at the intersection of a developing market with exponential potential. This facility will not only help us further centralize our lab kitting services, but will expand our capabilities in the space. It will also benefit our customers through a reduction in supply chain complexity and enable enhanced efficiencies. This new facility centralizes our warehouse and manufacturing in East Hartford. Serving as a hub for the Aero-Med business, it will accommodate a full transition of existing employees, as well as create job opportunities in the East Hartford region. Employing nearly 200 people, Cardinal Health's new Aero-Med facility is proud to be located in an opportunity zone and to support the growth of the East Hartford region. Many long hours have gone into making our new facility a reality, and we are excited to share this event with our entire Aero-Med team. I would like to thank all of you for your continued dedication to the business and the patients that we serve. The work we do is not only crucial, but essential to care. So Steve, I know you've heard the excitement from the team as we've shared progress on the opening of our new facility, and now you're here and get to see the finished product. So would you please come up and share a few words with the team?
Thank you, Emily. Good morning, everyone. It's very special to be here today. It's not very often you get to come to a grand opening celebration and also be part of a 15-year anniversary of a business. It's just really outstanding. So let's just have a quick round of applause for 15 years. You heard Emily give a lot of the lead in, but our medical business, we serve healthcare providers across the continuum of care. And we do that by providing the right products, the right place and time so that our customers, the providers, can spend time on patient care. And that is so important. And the lab business of distribution and kitting is absolutely critical to the value proposition that we provide to customers, which is why we're so excited to be here today with this new facility, the ability to expand and grow. And this is an area that is critical for our continued growth, us to meet our strategic ambition. And we're excited for the things that we know that you're all going to be able to deliver. In fact, I had a tour this morning and I got to hear about that. There's two things I really wanted to call out today. The first is to thank Jeff Grote and all of you for such a, what I would describe as a seamless transition from our old facility to this facility, very limited downtime for our customers. And when you hear the fact that we help build and distribute 50 million kits a year, you just cannot have a disruption because of the need to take care of the caregivers' patients. So thank you for an incredible transition to the business and getting this business up and running. It just looks fantastic. The second is I wanted to thank the East Hartford community for welcoming us in. It is really important for us to have such a great workforce, a community that values us, and a place where we can continue to grow. We also have another Cardinal Health facility in the same market in our nuclear pharmacy business. So let me just close out by saying thank you for everything that this team does. Today, Jeff, and while we were going through the tour, I asked what's the accuracy level of the kits that we build? Because obviously, for those of you that work here, you know there's not one thing in a kit. There's lots of things in a kit. But to be 99.9777, to me, that's just incredible. And it says and it shows the pride that I see all you give day in and day out. So thank you. What you do matters to patients. Keep it up and appreciate being here. I'm going to turn it over to Jeff.
Thank you very much, Steve. You know, someone's been here a long time, and little old Aero-Med's come a long way. And having you here today means a lot to us and in our mission that we're trying to accomplish here on a daily basis. I'm going to start out with some thank yous here, right? The first is to Mike, who's moving on. It's only been a short 3 years with Mike here, but the impact you've had on all of us has been tremendous. Number one is you have such a positive attitude, and it's been infectious to all of us. We've had a lot of challenges these last 2.5, 3 years, and you've kept a positive outlook through all this and helped me keep a positive outlook in the team and keep us moving forward. You have a passion for success, and it's infectious to the team that we're going to achieve it. We're going to have it possible. So I appreciate that you brought to the team. Emily, welcome. You've been a part of our team already, but now you're going to be really closer to the action, and we're excited to have you and see what we can achieve together. And I do appreciate the town of East Hartford for showing up today and being a part of this as we transition. Both my parents grew up in East Hartford, so it's been a part of our lives forever. So it's kind of full circle a little bit for us to come back here. And found out today one of our state reps used to work at Aero-Med back in the day. So that's also really cool. My biggest thank you is to the red shirts out here, right? So without all of you, we wouldn't be here today. And I want to just take a couple of minutes to call out a couple of people who have been instrumental in our growth here. Where's Drita and Leary? Will you guys stand up for a minute? These two were part of the original 8 that started making kits for us 16 years ago, and they're still here today. They started back in the cave, if they remember affectionately, the cave, right? But they're an epitome of who works here. Hardworking, determined, positive energy, a positive role model for the people that come through here. The second group of people I want to mention is Ardita, Alita, Maniola, Yanine, Latasha, and Shane. They have each of them has over 14 years dedicated to kitting. That's a long time to be at one company. The average turnover rate at a company is 2.5 to 3.5 years you stay with a company. Our group here is over 4 years on average for being here. And it says something about what we do here, the environment we create, the culture that you've all helped me create here. And I take a lot of pride in that. The last few people I want to mention is Tracy, Gino, Linda, and Tim. They've been on both sides of the house, distribution and kitting. Combined, they have 85 years of Aero-Med experience. So that's really impressive. And they've helped carry that message of that small company feel to a big company and made it feel like home for a lot of people that work here. And that does not go underappreciated. The last thing I want to call out today is our dedication as a company to diversity and inclusion. At Aero-Med, we have around 150 employees here under kitting and distribution, 31 managers and leaders from our captains to our vice president. 20 of them are diverse talent. That's something that's really impressive. 19 of them are women. And of the 31 managers here, only 3 of them were hired directly for that position. The other 28 were promoted from within. So that's something you deserve a big round of applause for. Again, thank you for the last 15 years, and I can't wait to see where we go next. I did the same thing there. And Mayor Walsh, come on up.
Thank you, Jeff. And on behalf of the town of East Hartford, some of our legislative and local leaders, which I'll introduce in a second, welcome to East Hartford. We are so proud that you've chosen us to be your home. I heard you did it with Opportunity Zone credits. That's the first time I have heard those used. Absolutely wonderful. I wrote some notes down because there's a lot of themes I quickly want to talk about. The first one is I want to recognize some of our local leaders because we want to be here together to welcome you. First one is State Majority Leader Jason Rojas. State Senator Saud Anwar. From our East Hartford Town Council, Harry Madison. Also from our East Hartford Town Council, Owet Sagai. Kate from my office, if you can get by Kate, anything is possible. So quick story so that all the folks with the t-shirts on, the same color, recognize how important you are, not only to East Hartford, but to the world. My wife is a laboratory technologist for 40 years. So when I hear kitting and when I hear testing, when I hear nuclear testing, I know exactly what you're talking about. Let me bring you back to March of 2020. And there was this thing called COVID-19. And there was this thing called supply chain issues. And there was this thing called shortages. And I was over at the Office of Policy and Management. While I am new to the Office of Mayor, I was 23 years as the finance director with 2 years quickly at the Office of Policy and Management at the state. And the governor had a crisis on his hands. He had a virus. He didn't know how to really test for it. He didn't know how to vaccinate for it. Vaccination was months away. And we had a real crisis. The state was shut down. Again, March 2020. Everyone should remember those times. And the National Guard, 1,100 of them, are working to create kits for the first tests. And the National Guard Chief Medical Officer decided that we were going to test every single person, 3.5 million Connecticut residents, and we were going to test them twice a week for COVID-19. I thought that was a good plan until I went home and talked to my wife. She's the one who's been in laboratory technology for 40 years. She said, that guy's nuts. There's not enough pipettes and there's not enough reagent. Well, I knew what that was. I went back the next day and I said, hey, not for nothing. My wife says you're crazy. We're never going to get enough pipettes or reagent. And you know what? We didn't. Apparently, there's only one company in Italy that does the pipettes for the most part, in being a nationwide or worldwide shortage. That was a problem. So that's where you come in, the appreciation for you, that brief story as to how we all came together, how you all came together to do what Aero-Med and Cardinal Health does so well, and that's supply the marketplace with necessary medical equipment. I want to go back to East Hartford. We want to be viewed as your partner. We want to be viewed as some place that you are proud to call home. Candidly, East Hartford is still finding its way back to a time where our citizens love our community. We're about 80% of the way there, but I view East Hartford's glass as half full, not half empty. To be able to walk around in my community and say Cardinal Health, Aero-Med has chosen East Hartford as home, and we are now their partners as they seek a journey to grow, is a pretty good story that I am happy and proud to tell. You are important to the community. You are important to the nation. You are important to your employer, and you are really, really important to the town of East Hartford. So on behalf of our legislative leaders, on behalf of me, Mike Walsh, the mayor of the community, our legislative delegation, our town council, thank you for choosing East Hartford. I promise you this in front of this 150 to 200 people, we will be the best partner possible. So when you think of expansion, make sure it's East Hartford. Let's have that discussion. Whatever we can do, we will. That's how important you are to us. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mike.
Well, thank you, Mayor Walsh, for your support of Aero-Med and for welcoming us into the East Hartford community. We're excited to be here and look forward to fueling growth in the region for years to come. So before we close, I want to take a few moments to thank several individuals. First is Jeff Grote, Teddy Ramirez, and Shane Dunn. Jeff, Teddy, and Shane all played instrumental roles in ensuring a smooth move and transition to our new facility. Their attention to detail and passion for this business was on full display. They worked tirelessly to ensure minimal downtime and customer impact. They worked with the best interest of the production team in mind and created a space that now has an energy that you can feel when you walk in the door. On behalf of the lab business, thank the three of you. Also to the entire Aero-Med staff, sales, customer service, production, planning, operations, quality, IT, finance, HR, all of you rally around our vision and believe in where we are going as an organization. You recognize the role that we play in patients' lives, and you have been adaptable and nimble as we have grown. Yet you have never lost sight of what makes Aero-Med unique. So thank you for continuing to deliver excellence. And next is Steve Mason. Steve, you have been a longtime supporter of the lab business. You have challenged us to challenge ourselves. Go bigger, go bolder. You support our vision and you recognize the potential not only within the business, but in each of us as individuals. I appreciate your advocacy and support, as well as the continued investments to grow the business. Thank you. And this event could not have taken place without the efforts of numerous people behind the scenes, including Danielle Miller, Susan Hedrick, Mallory Armstrong, Jenny Beckner, Jillian Holt, Tori Simmons, Allie Murphy, Courtney Tobin, and Daniela Carey. This dream team brought our grand opening to life and deserve a round of applause. And lastly, Mike Mclaughlin. Mike has been a colleague and thought partner of mine for many years. Mike brings passion, creativity, and a customer-centric approach to everything he does. He's the first person to find creative solutions. He embraces respectful debate with the goal of accelerating growth. He cares deeply for those that he works with and celebrates their successes. I feel lucky not only to call Mike a colleague, but a friend. And over the last couple of weeks, he has welcomed me into the Aero-Med family with open arms. He has been generous with his time as I come up to speed, and I know that I have big shoes to fill. Mike, you should be proud of the glide path that you have put the Aero-Med business on, so it is only fitting that you have the last words.
Thank you, Emily. And boy, this is great to see. This was a dream that we had 3 years ago, and to see it come to fruition is absolutely amazing. Every day, employees walk by our values, living the values of working with integrity, being inclusive, innovation, being accountable, and mission-driven. But a theme that arose today that I heard from almost every speaker was the pride that each and every one of you take into your respective functions each and every day. Quite frankly, it's that pride that you all take that allows us to be here today. It's that pride that has allowed us to be on the trajectory that we have been on for the last 8 years. It's that pride that in March of 2020, when the world was shutting down, we all rose our hand and rose to the occasion to build and assemble and manufacture over 50 million kits, many of whom were going to those testing for COVID. It's this pride that you all take that will continue the success of Aero-Med into the future. And I appreciate it. I'll remember it. And it keeps me strong, taking the pride that I take into the workplace each and every day. So thank you very much. I'm just going to pass it off to Jeff to organize our departure here, but that is the end of the show. So appreciate everybody.
So just real quickly, I think most of you guys in the shirts know where you're going. If you're going out, we have the ice cream truck, and some of you are going out there now, and some of you will head back and then go back out afterwards. Those of you who want a tour, you can come right over here, and I'll make sure to give you guys a tour, and we'll show you the rest of the facility. But thank you very much. That concludes our program.
Thank you.